Welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of the Agricultural Trends. Today, on the Trends feature, we will be visiting Jay's Farms and Consultancy in Njoro constituency, Nakuru Town West. And here, we shall be learning about chicken brooding, focusing mainly on Sasso breed. Join us to learn and relearn. The Agricultural Trends, your field guide to modern agriculture.
My name is James Nganga. I am 29 years old. My occupation is I'm an agricultural consultant, and my work is really to advise farmers on poultry production. That's what I do for a living. I also manage projects for non-government organizations here and there. This farm is Jay's Farms and Consulting Service Limited. At this particular farm is called Jay's Poultry Farm. In Jay's Poultry Farm, we specialize in the brooding of chicks up to 1 month, and that's our main product. We sell 1 month. We buy the day old chicks, then we brood them for 1 month, then sell off to smallholder farmers. And the reason why I entered into this business, having trained poultry production for 5 years, and that is as at 2024, I joined this business because I felt there is a big challenge when it comes to brooding of chicks. You find that farmers lose 40% of their chicks die within the first 1 month. So for me, I want to eliminate that risk that farmers face in their first 1 month. Provide for them chicks that are well vaccinated, that are fed on quality feeds. For them, they can just go and continue feeding them, henceforth up to when now the chicks become mature.
James, you mentioned that you have multiple rooms around here.
Yes.
So we'll start with the brooder. Could you tell us where do you get the chicks from?
Thank you. So for the chicks, we get them from different hatcheries. But for the last 3 months, we have been getting the chicks from 2 main companies. One I get from Uzima Chicken, it's a Sasso breed in Kenya. Then another company is called Silverlands. I also get Sasso, that's from Tanzania, it comes from Moshi. Yes, those are the 2 companies that now I'm getting the old chicks from. We have agents in Nakuru, so we liaise with the agents, they source for us, as they send the chicks to us.
So tell us, how do the brooder now operates? What is it there and everything?
So our brooder, we call it a microclimate. It has been designed in a way that it provides the temperatures and also the conditions that the mother chicken provides. So our brooder, it has four sections. We have the 2 large sections that has a capacity of 300 and 300. Then we have 2 small sections that have a capacity of 200 and 200. So in total, at optimum capacity, we are able to brood 1,000 chicks at a go. Yes, in that brooder. And for us, we provide heat using a Jiko core that is able to provide the optimum temperature that we require, because mostly we require around 32 degrees Celsius of heat in that brooder, and also the brooder has light. So there is a time that we provide light to the chicken for 24 hours, and then at times we go reducing the amount of light as the chicks grow. So that brooder, the chicks are supposed to stay there only for 2 weeks. Yes, then after 2 weeks, the chicks now move to section B.
Section B.
Yes.
But before we go to section B,
Yeah.
How many days old or how many months old do you bring the chicks? Do you introduce them into the brooder, or you just have a hatchery, you bring eggs?
No.
Tell us something about it.
We buy day-old chicks, so
A
it is
day-old.
1 day. Yes, it comes as 1 day-old chick. Yes.
At how much per chick?
Roughly it ranges between 110 to 120 shillings.
Mr. James focuses on improved KIENYEJI, specifically the Sasso breed, as it has a robust market demand due to rapid growth rate and its versatility that makes them suitable for both high-quality meat production and egg laying.
So within 4 months, this chicken has already attained the market weight of 2 to 3 kgs within the 4 months. Then it's able to be slaughtered as meat. That's the reason why we are really focusing on this. They are dual purpose. They can be for meat or for eggs. So they able to generate the meat within 4 months. For the eggs, they start laying the eggs at 5 months. Yes, but most customers prefer just to slaughter it at 4 months. Hardly few of them are able to keep them for eggs. Yes, so at the brooding section, they're able to stay there for 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, they're able to move now to section B. Reason because we have two main reasons why we do that. The first reason is as they grow, they're able also to have more waste as them, because that house is small, so the ammonia levels goes higher. So that's one reason why we move them from there to another bigger room now. We're able to even to have ample space. The other reason is because we intend to do the brooding every month, as our monthly target is 500 chicken every month. So after 2 weeks, we're able to remove them from the brooding section to section B, so that we introduce another batch that will now take another 2 weeks. So that's the reason why we're able now to have the consistent supply of those chicken. Also, another reason why we transfer them to section B is because section B now has access to sunlight. In poultry production, sunlight plays a very critical role in the growth and development of chicken. So in section B, we have an area that is open where the sun, where the chicken can go and bask, and also we have the inside, the roof has the translucent sheets where the sun just passes through. So in that regard, the chicken are able to have very strong bones, and they're able to grow very fast because of the natural sunlight that comes. Also, it is a cost-effective way, because during the day we don't do any heat, external heat. We only rely with the sunlight, as compared to the brooder where we have to provide heat 24/7. So that's the reason why we moved from brooding section to section B.
How long do they stay at section B now?
So at section B, they stay for a minimum of 2 weeks. But sometimes they may stay longer, depending on if the customer's preference is to pick them immediately or to pick them after maybe a week or so. So after they stay there for the 2 weeks, now the ones that are in the brooder, the ones that are finished 2 weeks, they come now. They displace them from section B. Then the ones that are in section B, they go to section A.
And what about at this level, at this particular juncture, at section B, before we go to section A now?
Yes.
Is it assured that all the 500 chicks that you've actually bought at a day old, when you transfer them to section B and finally to section A, is it assured that you will actually have the 500 chicks in total?
The standard mortality percentage is 5 to 10%, but for a farm, for the longest we have had, the highest mortality rate we have had is 2.5 to 3%. That's the mortality rate we have had. So if it is 500, 3% is around how many? 15 chicks.
15 chicks.
Yes, we're able to lose 15 to 20 chicks. It is a huge advantage for us, because sometimes the mortality has many factors that are behind it. But for us, getting the good chicks from quality hatcheries has really played a bigger role. Because I can tell you, this is not how we have been for the first 1 year. We were losing even to 20% mortality, but when now we have been able to experiment to see how the other hatcheries are doing, we have been able to get quality chicks over the last 6 or so months. Yes. We are now in section B, that is day 15.
Yeah, so how old now at this particular time?
15 days old.
15 days old.
Yes. They are transferred there on the 15th day. So they are 14 days. They are 2 weeks old. So that's why they come to section B on the 15th day. From 15th day to the 30th day.
Yes.
They stay in section B.
Section B now.
Yes.
So do you call them adult something?
We still call them chicks.
You still call them chicks
Yes.
at section B?
Yes, they are still chicks. Yes, up to 1 month, still a chick. Yeah. So they stay there for the next 2 weeks. In that section is where we do our vaccination also. We do the fowlpox on the 25th day. We do the fowlpox injection. It is also the room where we do also more supplementation of the multivitamins, and mostly we focus on the multivitamins that control the growth of E. coli and Salmonella. That's the use of water acidifiers in that group, because we call it the elongation stage. It's the stage where the chick now becomes bigger. Our main product is the 1 month old. So from the 28th to 30th day, that chick is ready now to go now to the customer. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know, I'm wondering, how do you manage all these recording, keeping? Do you know, chicks are fragile, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to imagine, how do you manage to record, keep, like, tell us about your farm management before we now go to the next segment about your office and other rooms. How do you manage all these records, farm management things?
Yes, as a farm, we have what we call the standard operating procedures. There's the standard operating procedure of how we receive the chicks, what supplement the chick is given at a particular stage, and all that we have them on record. We have a template that gives the required temperature, the required supplements, it gives the outline of all that. Then for the daily, we also input the daily entries in the book every day. If there's a mortality, we record it in the book. If there's anything that maybe a chick was sold before it was 1 month old, it has to be recorded. So we have our record keeping book, and we have a record keeping board. We have our record, we put them in three categories. We have the record board in the brooding section. We have a board. Then we have in the office, because in the office we have a medicine cabinet or a medicine table. We have also a medic board where it states which supplements are being given at what dosage, from what day to what day. We have a medics board. Then we have the permanent book, a hard cover. This is the hard cover where we put all the records for the chicken. So for us, our record keeping is very critical in our production. It is through the records that we're able now to say this chicken was able to consume this amount of feeds. So the cost of production is this. So we're able even to cost our products based on evidence of what that chicken has gone through in the brood house. This building is a multi-story. We have the ground floor and this upper floor. For the up floor, we have the section B, which is extension. Then for the storeroom, it doesn't have an extension. Section A has an extension. Then you have the slaughterhouse. So for construction, give or take, this house costed 400,000 plus. Yes, given the type of materials that we use to construct, because we have areas that are fully metal. The big size of metal, because of we wanted it to stay for a longer period of time. The timber also is also very expensive, and also the design by itself. So the labor costs for the ground floor, you have the brickworks, the concrete works, so that can be able to hold this weight. So give or take, this house spent 400,000. For the brooder you've used metal and wire mesh. That one costed around 20 plus 20, around 50,000. including the labor, the whole construction of it all. So roughly the whole amenity here, even including the feeders and the drinkers, is in excess of 500,000.
Why is it that on the brooder side it's different from this one that we have here on section B and also section A? Why is that the building materials are different?
There because of stability and because
the brooder side.
Yes, the brooder side. We are really trying. If you see this house, we're really trying to avoid the use of timber. Timber has an aspect of having the fleas tend to live in the cracks. So we really try to avoid as much as we can to avoid the use of timber. So we realize the brooder we only use all through. I think 90% we're using metal. Also because of stability and also to reduce those fleas. But for this side we have used timber for the flooring because the concrete could not be supported by this. But we really wanted to use concrete, but the downfall could be very cold, so we opted to just use timber. But we make sure we disinfect regularly to avoid those fleas. There are those fleas that tend to zinakula kuku and become thinner. So for us, we disinfect to ensure we control that.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is for section A and section B. That
Yes.
is timber. And looking at the other advantages of timber, you talked about the disadvantage part. Does it have another advantage, and that's why you use timber?
Yes, timber has an advantage. It conserves heat. Heat is able to, if you find this upper room is very warm. The average degrees is 29 to 32 degrees on a normal day, typical day, without no heat, no anything. But on a daily is 29, 30 degrees. At night the degrees goes to 22 thereabout. But you see the timber maintains the heat as compared to the ground floor where we use timber, the bricks. That room is very cold. So if it could have been constructed by timber or these boards, it could be warmer, but it is very cold. So yes, timber may have its own disadvantages, but for poultry production, it has more also advantages.
And what about the pests and diseases? How do you now manage it now in this area?
Yes, for pests we disinfect. Sometimes we use the acaricides. Sometimes, I think once in 2 months we use acaricides to drive out the fleas and whatever. But for diseases, I think that's one area we have really tried to mitigate. For diseases, we have the foot bath. Before anyone enters the room, you have to dip your legs in that foot bath before entering the house. Also, you have to have sanitizer for your hands, because when you touch, you may be able to bring those diseases to this flock. So you have used sanitizer for the hands. You have used Kero for the foot bath, so that we don't bring the diseases to the flock. But sometimes diseases happen. So we have in our water, like this water, waters, we have put what we call a water acidifier. A water acidifier is a chemical that neutralizes or kills any harmful bacteria, fungi, viruses that may be in water, and also that may the digestive system of a chicken. So for us, we approach diseases as not a one-off, but we have multiple areas of controlling the disease. So we use water acidifier for the chicken. So if accidentally somebody comes with that with a microorganism to the flock are able to control that through our water, because we believe 90% of this they drink the water. So you have to control that from internal. So you find that the water acidifier controls E. coli and Salmonella in chicken. Those are the two microorganisms that cause diseases in poultry. Those are the huge contributors, Salmonella and E. coli. So if you reduce the viral load of those two, we're able now to control the diseases in our flock. And I can tell you, for the last 3 months, we have not had incidences of diseases in our farm. Not because we make sure that every Friday there is we do a thorough disinfection. You spray the room, you spray everywhere, you change the foot bath, you make sure you have sanitized, and every time visitors come to a farm, you have to spray.
For waste management, here at Jay's Farms and Consultancy, the poultry houses are dry cleaned every morning and the waste is collected and composted for a week before being taken to their vegetable farm, which produces vegetables used to feed the chicks. As any other farmer, James faces challenges such as reliable access to quality breeds of chicks. On the other hand, James has witnessed high returns from his small farm due to the high demand for chicks in the market and has more hopes for the future.
In the next 5 years, we want to have a fully functioning slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse being complete with all the facilities, the freezers, the defeathering machines, all of them. All of them we have put, we have already budgeted for them. We're still working on the procurement of the same. The next area we want to do is also we want to introduce a feed mill at the facility. We already have an area that we have sorted for a feed mill. We want to mix feeds, high quality feeds, even for the customers who are picking our chicks. When you come here, pick the chicks, when we deliver the chicks to you, we also deliver together with the feeds. So we want to introduce a feed mill. We also want to introduce an equipment store, whereby if you buy chicks, we don't have a drink or feeder, we're able to supply you the feeders and the drinkers. And also we want to introduce an agrovet or a medication hub where you're able to sell even the medications. Already we have started selling the feeds, though in small portions, just as we understand the market, or we understand how the market responds to it. So far that's what we want to do. And also this farm is still small, and we want to have outgrow farms. We already mapped out 2 pieces of land where you're going to expand, and those farms will be more of the growers, because we also want to invest in fertilized eggs, because in the next 5 years we want to do everything in this farm. We want to have our own chicken, the parent stock that is producing the eggs. The eggs we put them in incubator. The incubators, then we have the day-old chicks. The day-old chicks we brood them, then we sell them. So that's what we want to do. We want to do everything at this farm in the next 5 years.